God sends Moses and Aaron to Pharaoh with a simple message: let my people go. But Pharaoh's heart is hardened. To show God's power, Aaron throws down his staff, and it turns into a serpent. Pharaoh's magicians copy the trick, but Aaron's serpent swallows theirs, foreshadowing the victory to come. Moses strikes the Nile with his staff, and the river turns to blood. Fish die and the water becomes undrinkable. Pharaoh's magicians mimic this sign, and Pharaoh refuses to budge. Egypt's lifeblood, the Nile, now flows with death, but Pharaoh's heart stays cold. Frogs swarm the land, filling beds, ovens, and streets. Pharaoh pleads with Moses to pray for their removal, promising freedom. But once the frogs die, Pharaoh changes his mind. Aaron strikes the dust, and gnats rise, covering people and animals. Pharaoh's magicians try to replicate the plague but fail. They even admit this is the finger of God, yet Pharaoh's heart remains stubborn. Swarms of flies descend on Egypt, but God protects Goshen, where the Israelites live. Pharaoh offers a compromise: sacrifice within Egypt. Moses insists they must leave. Pharaoh agrees but hardens his heart again when the flies leave. A deadly plague kills Egyptian livestock, but none of the Israelites' animals are harmed. Pharaoh investigates, but even this sign doesn't change his mind. Moses and Aaron throw soot into the air, causing painful boils to break out on Egyptians and their animals. Even Pharaoh's magicians suffer, but Pharaoh's heart is unyielding. Moses warns Pharaoh about the worst hailstorm Egypt has ever seen. Crops, trees, and livestock are destroyed. Only Goshen is spared. Pharaoh briefly admits his sin, but once the hail stops, his heart hardens again. Locusts swarm Egypt, eating everything the hail left behind. Pharaoh confesses his sin but soon goes back on his word. A thick, oppressive darkness covers Egypt for 3 days. No one moves, but the Israelites have light in their homes. Pharaoh offers to let the people go, but tries to keep their livestock. Moses refuses. Pharaoh, furious, threatens Moses' life if he returns. God instructs the Israelites to sacrifice a lamb and mark their doorposts with its blood. This sign will cause the Lord to pass over their homes during the final plague. They eat the lamb with unleavened bread, ready to leave Egypt in haste. At midnight, the Lord strikes down every firstborn in Egypt. Pharaoh's palace echoes with wailing. Broken and defeated, Pharaoh summons Moses and Aaron, urging them to leave immediately with all the Israelites. The Israelites gather their families, livestock, and unleavened bread. As they leave, the Egyptians shower them with silver, gold, and clothing. This marks the beginning of their journey to the Promised Land, fulfilling God's covenant with Abraham